and as he's saying I need to slow down, bro, there's a wall. Like there's just like a dead wall like right in front of us, and I freaked out because I'm like, bro, I cannot crash into this wall. Literally I couldn't even think straight. I'm thinking, oh my god, there was like, I smelled smoke. I'm thinking a car about to blow up. I'm thinking glasses everywhere. There was no glass. The window did not break. Like there was really nothing to say. Like imagine crashing somebody's car. Like what do you say to them? Like
yeah, whoa, yeah. Yo, let me tell you like this. Fuck 'em. Hey, shout it.
Hey YouTube, it's Kaya, back at it again with another story time. Same fit because it's the same day. Okay, so today is a story time on how I crashed his car on the first link. You're probably looking at me like, what the fuck? But I have a good explanation behind it. I've actually already told this story time, but I told it in a very shitty way, so I'm gonna redo it much better this time. Okay. If you're watching this video, the boy whose car crashed, we're still cool. You know, me and him, we're on good terms. This video is not to bash him. I'm very much over it, but it's like entertainment purposes. It's an entertaining story. It's very embarrassing and kind of traumatic, but like, you know, YOLO, it's entertainment. I'm just telling the story how it happened. So yeah, if you see this, it's all love. It's all love. Okay. Anyways, we're just gonna get straight into the story. Okay, so there was this boy. We're gonna call him, damn, what do I want to call him? We're gonna call him Cam. I met Cam my junior year of high school. I knew him through mutual friends. And I just didn't really like him because I just heard he was an asshole. Like I just heard bad things about him basically. So I don't know what made him want to talk to me, but this boy, I guess, really wanted to talk to me. Okay, so I have a friend, and for this story, we're gonna call her Candace. So he kept texting Candace, basically telling Candace, like, put me on with Kaya. And Candace would tell me about it. And I'm just like, why does he want to put on with me? Like, no. So, you know, she just wouldn't really say anything to him, like, back to him about me type stuff, but he would, you know, keep asking to be put on. So he texted me on Instagram, and this is October. Mind you, I met him my junior year, but he was a senior. So he is a year older than me. I was 17 and he was 18. So he texted me and he was like, hey ma, tap me after work. And I'm like, about what? Because literally, y'all, like when I tell you, like, I'm not capping, I didn't want to talk to him. Like, not on no rude stuff. It's just like, bro, I've heard about you. Like, you know when you hear stuff about people, and I know you're supposed to get to know people for yourself, but it's just like, I have common sense. I just heard so much about him, so I was just like, no. Fuck no. And he was like, LMAO, I was trying to see what you was about to get into. And I didn't respond. So then he texted me again, and he said, I be telling your friends to put me on, but they never do. SMH. And I said, my friends, question mark. I knew he was talking about Candace, but like, I wasn't about to say that. So he was like, yeah, so he was like, yeah, so I'm about to put myself on. What's up with your cute ass, right? And I don't really know where it went after that because I didn't screenshot that part. But yeah, so after that, I think we texted for a little bit and then it kind of like died out. So then he texted me again. And I think around that time, I think I had a girlfriend. She wasn't my girlfriend, but she was damn near my girlfriend. She played the fuck out of me, but we're not going to get into that. So I was talking to this girl and she played the fuck out of me. So after that, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to talk to whoever I please. Okay. So then I texted him back because, you know, I don't know. So I texted him and I was like, why did you ask to get put on and say nothing to me, LOL? Because I just thought it was weird that he was constantly asking. Anyways, so I just personally thought it was weird that he would constantly go to my friend to get put on with me and not me. So that's why I said that. So he was like, damn, my bad, I was going to do it later. So then he was like, LMAO, my fault, ma, I thought you ain't tapped me back. And then he was like, I told you Candace was on games. And I said, LOL, how? And he basically was trying to say like she didn't put him on with me. But for real, it was me. But so after that, like I'm weak. Okay, but so after that, we kind of just started like FaceTiming, and I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I kind of started to fuck with him. Like I like talking to him, my guard was like really up because of how much I had heard about him. But like the more I talked to him, I was like, he's actually like a cool nigga. Like he, like, dudes don't really like open up to you. My camera about to die. But yeah, so dudes don't really open up to you. So like the way he was talking to me, like it didn't seem like he was trying to like play me. Like he just was casually talking to me. So like I said, my guard was up, but I was interested talking to him. Like I enjoyed his friendship basically. Okay, I'm starting to get more comfortable with him, whatever. and he wants to link, right? So I'm like, okay, that's fine, like we can do that, right? He just got his license, so I'm like, boom, I'm off on Sunday, like you can come swoop me on Sunday. Okay, so y'all really gotta understand the way this nigga picked me up, bro. Like, I should have known the day was gonna go to shit. Okay, so I'm getting ready, you know, again, trying to get cute or whatever, because this is like our first time seeing each other in a long time, so I wanted to look good. Okay, I'm done getting ready, I'm sitting at my desk waiting for him to come, and I hear this music, like it's loud as fuck. I'm like, who the fuck is blasting music? And then I realized, I'm like, there's no way. I literally was like, there's no fucking way. That's his black ass outside my window with the music on volume 300. Like, mind you, I live in the suburbs. I live in a quiet neighborhood, okay? Like, you can't do that. Like, you can't just be riding around the neighborhood with your music like loud as fuck. Especially, fuck my neighborhood, fuck the neighborhood. I live with my parents, okay? I was 17. Don't get me wrong, I was allowed to date, I was allowed to talk to boys, but I like to avoid confrontation back then, because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm hanging out with this boy, so that there would be parameters around what I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to deal with that shit. So I didn't tell my parents I was hanging out with a boy. I just said I was going with my friend. So him pulling up with the music like that made it real obvious I was hanging out with a boy. So I was like, fuck. So I get up, I try to like walk past, I didn't even try to sneak, but like I'm walking down the stairs and my dad is like, who is that? And I was like, my friend's from work. He's like, who? I'm like, my friend, we're gonna call the girl, I don't like that bitch, we're gonna call the girl Kat. So I'm like, it's just Kat and her brother, like type stuff, right? So he just looked real suspicious. Like, he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, bye. And I literally walked out, closed the door, ran to the car. Once I got in that car, I turned the radio down and he looked at me crazy. He was like, I'm like, why the fuck would you pull up to my neighborhood with the music that loud? Why can I hear you all the way from my second story? Is that how it works? My second story window. And then on top of that, the nigga pulled up on the wrong side of the street. There's literally a sign on the street that says do not park on this side, and he parked on that side. Like, it was just so embarrassing. And later, like, my dad told me he knew, because like he looked out the window. I'm like, that's so embarrassing. Like, that's so embarrassing. So anyways, I'm just like, pull off, please, pull off. So he pulls off. And you know, I don't know if y'all know this, but I personally do not smoke, and it's like, you can smoke, I'm just not gonna smoke with you. So they put up to this like apartment complex, right, parked in the like an area, like it was like garages that are like tucked off to the side. So they parked by, or he parked by the garages, and in the back seat, I forgot to tell y'all, in the back seat it was him, his little brother. I'm tired, it's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. When he pulled up, it was his brother in the back seat and his brother's friend. Mind you, his brother's like 15. I'm assuming his friend is probably also 15 as well. They're smoking, whatever, and I'm not talking because this is our first time linking. I'm awkward. Like, I am socially awkward. I don't know what to say, and then the fact that your brothers are with you makes this so much worse for me, because I think if his brothers weren't there, or if his brother wasn't there, I would have been more comfortable, because I'm used to talking to him. We talk on the phone all the time, but the brother being there added so much pressure for me to where I'm just like, yeah, this is weird. So I'm on my phone scrolling on TikTok trying to take my mind off of like other people being around me right now, and he's like, why you acting like that? Like, why you being all quiet? And I'm like, cause there's nothing to say. Like, what do you want me to say? So now it's time to go to our destination. Now, we were driving to the studio. Now, I want to really give y'all a visual. I want y'all to really see what the studio was. The studio was gross. The studio was disgusting. It literally gave me like trap house vibes. Like, I don't even think there was running water. Like, real talk. I walked in and there was like stuff everywhere. Like, there was like paint, chip paint on the walls. There was water bottles there. There was like, the floor was gross. Like, there was stuff all over the floor. Like, literally, y'all, I lost my AirPod in this house and I could not find it because that's how dirty the floor was. Like, I couldn't find my AirPod, bro. It was that bad. So we go upstairs and we in a room, right, and it's me, him, his brother, and his brother's friend. So we watching like The Amazing World of Gumball or some shit like that. His friend gave him like a bottle of lemonade, but there wasn't really just lemonade in there. It was like lemonade mixed with some alcohol or something like that. Like, it wasn't straight alcohol, but he definitely had something mixed with alcohol, right? So the nigga was drinking, okay? And he had smoked like 20 minutes before that. So now he's crossed. So his brother is like, hey, like, let me pull up to the shawty's house, right? And he's like, the brother did not have his license. I think this was like probably one of his first times driving. So he ended up giving it, and he's like, okay, let's go, whatever. So we get up to leave, and Cam looks at me and he's like, you got your license? And I'm like, nah, I got my temps. And he's like, okay. So we walk out, right? As we're walking out, like literally I'm all the way to the car, Cam walks out stumbling, like he's falling all over the place. He looks goofy as hell. So he gets in the car. We both in the back seat. His brother in the driver's seat. His brother's friend is in the passenger. So he gets on the highway. And he does pretty good. Like, we don't die. So he does pretty good. We getting real close to our destination. And we're just talking, chopping it up, you know? Since we were talking about our driving abilities, I was like, yeah, like the farthest I've driven for real is like from my house to Five Below. And that's probably like a 10-minute drive. Not shit. No highways, nothing, right? And he looks at me like, you telling me I'm trusting you with my life and you tell me you can't drive? And I'm like, huh? What? I'm like, what do you mean? And he was like, you don't think I'm driving, do you? And I was like, oh shit. Because like, he had a point. Like, he was drunk as fuck. And I personally didn't want to be in the passenger seat of a drunk ass nigga driving me home. So once he said that, I was like, damn, you're right. I didn't even have my glasses with me, y'all. I wear glasses. My glasses are over there. I wear glasses. I didn't even bring them with me because I didn't know I was gonna have to drive. So I get in the driver's seat and I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, I have to pee. And he's like, nah, like we gotta get straight back to the studio. I'm like, I have to pee. He's like, no, I don't have enough gas for that. I'm like, I will give you gas. I have to pee. So he's like, fine, go ahead. You can stop at Speedway. So I drive us to Speedway. I get out the car. I give him my card, and then he puts the gas in there, whatever. And then as soon as I get in the gas station, I call Candace, the friend that put me on. I'm like, bro, I'm about to have to drive. Like, I'm about to have to drive. And this bitch knows I can't drive. So she's like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. She's like, okay, you're gonna be fine. Like, it's okay. It's not that hard. Just take a back street. Take a back street. So she's giving me the confidence I need. I'm like, okay, thank you. So I get back in the car. And I'm like, yeah, okay, like, can we take a back street? And this nigga told me no. He said, nah, like, you're good. We can do the highway. I got you. I'm like, but, like, I'd rather take a back street. And he was like, nah, like, highway's faster. Like, let's do the highway. I was like, okay. So, we start driving, okay? And I will say, it was pretty smooth at first. You know, he got his feet kicked up on the dashboard. I was so scared. Like, I was just driving, trying to focus on the fact that I'm driving, because when I used to drive back then, like, I could not drive straight for shit. Like, literally the car would always be veering. So my hands were just really gripped on the wheel, and he was talking to me and I was like looking at him, trying to focus, you know, like really, like, you know, like I was really into it. So, you know, a couple minutes go by, I'm driving and I look at him and I'm like, am I driving too fast? He was like, no, you're actually going kind of slow. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So he continues talking and I'm just driving, right? So, you know, I didn't even feel like I was going fast. Y'all, I don't even think I really knew how to work the brake and the gas pedal, to be very honest with you. Like, my turns back then used to be crazy. Like, I didn't used to press the brakes when I turned, for real, if you know what I mean. Like, I did not know how to drive, okay? Just didn't know how to drive. So we're driving and it just all happened so fast that it's really hard to explain. But I'm driving and he's like, hey, like, you need to slow down. And as he's saying I need to slow down, bro, there's a wall. Like, there's just like a dead wall, like, right in front of us. And I freaked out because I'm like, bro, I cannot crash into this wall. So I spun the wheel. I can't even tell y'all if I hit the brake or not. I don't remember. But I spun the wheel just so that we would not hit the wall in front of me. Mind you, there's still cars coming. Like, there's literally still cars coming. This is the whole, like, there's lights here. So I spin the car, and instead of hitting the wall in front of us, we hit the wall over here. Car spun, man, that shit spun so hard, and then we smacked into the wall and the car just stopped. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god. I'm just like, what the fuck? Literally, I couldn't even think straight. I'm thinking, oh my god, there was, like, I smelled smoke. I'm thinking a car about to blow up. I'm thinking glasses everywhere. There was no glass. The window did not break. But that's how it felt. Like, I really thought, like, when the impact of hitting the wall, bro, felt like I broke glass or something. And I felt really bad for him because he was on the side that hit the wall and his feet were up. Like, he was comfortable, y'all. He was real comfortable. So we're just sitting there, like, just in disbelief at the fact that we just crashed. So we're just sitting there, and then a lady is coming next to us and she's like, are you guys okay? And he's like, yeah, like, we're fine, we're fine. And then she drives off. He's like, get out. I get out. We switch spots. He drives off. As he's driving, we're like riding in silence. Like, the car is so loud. Like, you hear the car scraping the ground. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. And he's like, it's not your fault. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like, there was really nothing to say. Like imagine crashing somebody's car. Like, what do you say to them? Like, so I'm just kind of like stuck. I'm just like, bro, there's no fucking way. There's no way. Like, Oh my God. We were literally right there on the highway. Like, if I would have driven on the highway, we probably would have died because I didn't know how to drive, and that would have just been a recipe for disaster. And in my defense, I told him, let's take the back streets, and he said no. But anyways, so he drove in silence, and I felt like any second the car was gonna stop. Like, that's how badly the car was messed up. And I actually have videos of the car, so I'm gonna try to find those videos and insert them in here. But the car was really fucked up. Yeah. So he's driving, and I'm like, are you sure you don't want to like pull over? Because mind you, y'all, he never got out the car and looked at the car. Like, he never did that. We just switched spots, and he started driving. So he's driving, and he's like, no, I don't want to stop. So we get back to the studio, and as soon as we get to the studio, the cops pull up, and I'm like, oh my God. They took my temps, and they ran his license. His license actually ended up getting suspended. I'm sorry. I didn't really get in trouble. The only trouble I would have gotten in was like if the wall was damaged that I hit, but the wall was not damaged. So it was cool. But they did call my parents, and y'all, I wanted to cry. I didn't want to cry. I cried. Like, literally, they was like, yeah, what's your parents' phone number? And I was like, because I was a minor. They had to let them know. And it's not like my parents didn't know I was out. They just didn't know where I was at. So he called my dad, and my dad was just so confused. Like, literally, the phone rang. My dad is like, hello. He's like, hello, this is the police department. And my dad was like, so after that, they were like, do you want us to release her to her friends, or do you want us to bring her to y'all? And my dad was basically like, you can release her to her friends, right? And then I went back to where Cam was. We were really fucked. Like, he did not have insurance, and the car was not even in his name. So, like, that could have been very bad. But he somehow, like, swindled the cops, and they didn't ask for his proof of insurance or anything like that. And they didn't even call his mom. Like, I don't know what he said to them. I just know that the cops left. So we go back inside. Walk of shame back in the house. His friends are all upstairs in the studio, and they're like, what happened? And he's like, she crashed my car. And I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. And yeah, it was so embarrassing. Like, literally after that, he was like, bro, let me go first. He got on the mic. It was like he let up all the pent-up anger in the mic. I was like, oh my God. But after that, you know, we was chilling. Like, he really didn't seem mad at me. Like, he just kind of seemed more concerned about what his mom was gonna say. But he was being really nice to me, and he was like, yeah, it's not your fault, whatever. But it was really because he just wanted to fuck, okay? And he did not crack. He did not. But he was trying to. Like, literally, I remember he was like, wow, like, you crashed my car and I can't even get a kiss. Like, gang, shit's crazy. But yeah, the house was so, I want to go back to the house, y'all. The house was so ghetto. Like, the bathroom was so dirty. Like, the whole house was dirty as fuck. And then I had to pee, and I was holding it for a very long time. I just went through a car accident, and I didn't even pee. I had to pee, so I got up to go pee, right? Tell me why. I go in the bathroom, I pee, I get up to look for some toilet paper. There is none. So now I'm like, bruh. I go under the sink looking for stuff. I had to take out a diaper and wipe myself with a diaper. It was clean though, but like, you feel me? But yeah, that's just part one. This is part one only because, like, the aftermath, that's a whole different story. Just let me know. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Like I said, Cam, if you're watching this, no hard feelings or love to you. We're cool. I apologize for crashing your car. But yeah, thank y'all, and I think that's it. Bye.
Get them panties wet. Yeah. Let go. Fuck that nigga, let me hit your spot. You know when I'm in it, this shit don't stop. Now we all up in